Importance sampling for simulation of class I OCT signal. Our first importance sampling technique to simulate OCT signals aimed at increasing the number of photons collected at the detector. This algorithm uses the same method described in section 2, where we also use the same square time gating given by. Since most tissues are highly forward scattering, their anisotropy factor is close to 1. Therefore, there is a very small probability that a simulated photon packet at any given depth in the tissue would undergo scattering in the backward direction toward the OCT probe. The probability of collecting class I photons drops rapidly with depth in the tissue from which the photon is scattered in the backward direction. To allow faster simulation of class I photons, we designed an importance sampling method that biases the direction U circumflex of a scattered photon toward the tip of the light collecting optical fiber, V, as the photon packet reaches the depth range of interest. By defining the origin of a Cartesian coordinate system at the center of the tip of the light collecting optical fiber, the bias direction in which this fiber is located is defined as V equals minus RR, where R equals XX plus U plus ZZ is the position vector of the scattering location in the tissue. All photon packets propagating in a direction close to V will contribute to the simulated class I diffuse reflectance with a higher probability. Therefore, this bias direction is more efficient than biasing only in the backward direction, which may not be consistent with the direction of the light collecting optical fiber. This choice of the bias direction is particularly effective for photon packets propagating deep in the tissue, where such photon packets experience one or more scattering events before they are diffusively reflected. As the photon packet reaches the depth range targeted, the propagation direction U circumflex of the scattered photon packet is biased toward the bias direction V, as opposed to being most likely scattered close to the previous propagation direction U circumflex as in the practical case with anisotropy close to 1 and different from the bias toward minus U circumflex, the opposite of the direction of propagation, as it is done in. To randomly select the biased angle theta b between the new scattering direction U circumflex and the bias direction V, we use the same probability density function n, 1. However, the bias coefficient does not have to correspond to the anisotropy factor g. Therefore, the probability density function of the biased angle is given by where A as a bias coefficient. After randomly sampling a biased angle theta b away from the bias direction V, so that cosine theta b equals VU circumflex, the provisional scattering direction U circumflex is rotated around V by an angle phi, which is randomly selected from a uniform probability density function with a range from 0 to 2 pi to generate the propagation direction U circumflex after the current scattering. This procedure ensures a more accurate model of the light scattering in tissue. The difference in the rotation by phi between the model with importance sampling and the standard model is that the rotation in the model with importance sampling is done around the bias direction V, while the rotation in the standard model is done around the direction U circumflex prior to the current scattering. After the first bias scattering, this procedure produces the new propagation direction U circumflex of the photon packet. Afterward, the scattered photon packet is associated with a likelihood ratio as discussed in other applications of this method. Using our biased angle's probability density function, the likelihood ratio of the photon packet, 5, is given by where cosine theta s equals U circumflex is determined, after the bias scattering, from the randomly sampled values of theta b and phi. The ratio of the probability of the scattering angle appearing in the biased case with the standard case is the likelihood ratio that is shown in 6. In addition to depending on theta b, the likelihood ratio also depends on theta s. Shows a schematic drawing of these vectors and the angles used in this direction biasing procedure. Note that the choice of bias distribution only affects the speed of convergence of the simulation. Therefore, other biased probability function could also be used to randomly generate the bias scattering toward the bias direction V. Schematic representation of vectors and angles used in biasing the scattering direction. Reprinted with permission from copyright the Optical Society of America. As a photon packet is biased toward the apparent position of the collecting optical fiber, at any given depth in the tissue, the photon packet becomes more likely to be collected at the tip of the fiber. However, the photon packet could be scattered several times after the first backscatter bias before reaching the optical collection system. These additional scatterings, according to 1. reduce the correlation between the bias direction and the event in which the photon packet is collected. We overcome this reduction in correlation by continuing to bias the scattering direction U circumflex toward the direction V, pointing to the apparent position of the optical collection system, at every scattering point until the photon packet is removed. These additional biases still use both EECS 7 and 8. Since the random values drawn for the angle between the scattering direction and the bias direction are independent of each other and are also independent of the previous scattering events, the overall likelihood ratio of a collected photon packet results from the multiplication of all the likelihood ratios of all the bias scattering in that particular simulation. Once a photon packet experiences the first bias scattering, that photon packet is biased at all additional scattering points until it is removed from the simulation, which can occur when the photon packet is removed by Russian roulette, as described in section 2, or it leaves the tissue. After simulating launched photon packets using importance sampling, the diffuse reflectance R1 and its standard deviation sigma R1 could be calculated with and EECS 7 and 8 are similar to EECS 3 and 4, except that the indicator function is multiplied by its corresponding likelihood ratio. Using this method, a significantly larger number of photon packets are scattered from a specific depth range toward the collecting optical system than the number obtained using a standard MCML implementation. At the end of this bias simulation, each photon packet is weighted by its likelihood ratio, which adjusts the contribution of each packet to the estimation of the class I diffuse reflectance. The estimated diffuse reflectance converges toward its true value faster, by several orders of magnitude, when compared to the standard Monte Carlo method. One drawback of previously existing bias methods, for example, is an underestimation of the diffuse reflectance beyond the targeted depth range. The application of the first backward bias reduces the probability that this photon packet would propagate beyond that portion of the tissue. This would lead to a statistical bias to this importance sampling method similar to that in the angle biasing procedure used in the method used in, which limits the effectiveness of those methods to a thin target layer. We make sure we obtain correct statistics by splitting the photon packet into two photon packets before the first biased scattering. The first of these two photon packets is the one biased toward the collecting optical system. The second photon packet starts propagating from the location in which the biased backscattering occurred, where its initial direction calculated by applying the standard procedure to the previous direction U circumflex as shown in section 3.1. To ensure that there is no statistical bias associated with a forward propagating photon packet that was split, it will be assigned a likelihood ratio Li, which is a complement to the likelihood of the biased backward scattered photon packet Li such that Li equals 1 minus Li to this second photon packet. This second photon packet, only generated if Li1, when photon packets are scattered in the then unlikely forward direction. These photon packets contributed to a slow decrease in the relative variation, which corresponds to relative error, with the increase in the number of photon packets launched for the calculation of the OCT signal. Referring to, we could reduce this relative variation by choosing a distribution function for the scattering angle that limits it to the backward direction. This modified distribution is given by where A is the bias coefficient that can be selected between 0 and 1. Once a biased angle theta b is randomly selected, away from the direction of the center of the OCT probe V, where cos theta b equals V middle dot U circumflex, the provisional bias scattering direction U circumflex is rotated around V by an angle phi randomly sampled from a uniform distribution in the range from 0 to 2 pi. These parameters are defined in the same manner as those used in the bias distribution presented in section 3. The only difference is that the domain of cos theta b is restricted to a maximum deviation from the biased angle by 90 degrees. This ensures that there would not be packets with very large likelihood ratio that could reduce the efficiency of our importance sampling. The likelihood ratio of the photon packet that uses the biased probability density function N9 is given by where cos theta s equals U circumflex middle dot U circumflex,